Hello again, race car fans. We have a 1988 Nissan 200SX that ran in the Safari Rally of the WRC back then. So it's made by a brand called CM's. I didn't have any packaging, it just came on this thing, so I took it off. It also had an antenna taped to the bottom, and it's just a friction fit into this hole here. So this is the Nissan website, so you know this information should be correct. Let's see here. It's saying the thing has a 3-liter V6 engine. It has 250 horsepower, disc brakes all around, and it's running on 16-inch wheels. And then there's a little blurb here. Let me do the back view though while I read off this blurb. Let me focus on the model. Okay. So this was driven by Mike Kirkland in the 36 Safari Rally. It came in second place overall and also won its class of over 2cc two-wheel drive. So this is a rear-wheel drive. Rear-wheel drive. It's not all-wheel drive. Interesting. It was a very hazardous race due to heavy rains. Only 14 cars actually completed the race. So only 14 cars finished. I think in the previous review I read that like 70 cars entered one race, so 70 to maybe somewhere in that ballpark, right? But basically most cars tend to break down in this type of race event because there's so many rocks and animals to dodge and all that stuff. So alright, let's get into this review of the diecast now. So I'm looking at the graphics here and the paint job. It seems like the red is tampo printed because it didn't get everything, you know, a little white showing through. But all the badging and the text here, it seems to be tampo print as well. I don't see that wrinkliness, you know, of a decal, so that's good. There's a Mr. Kirkland's name there in really fine text. It might be hard to actually see. Oh, there it is. Alright, just gotta zoom in. Oh, so that must be the blood type, A plus, right? O negative. Interesting. A positive, I mean. Alright, so there's a somewhat flush door handle, but a little bit of a recess for the fingers to get under there. I don't know why. Oh, I see. So there's a rubber mold strip here, and then I guess the graphic, the sticker, is put over it. And so that's actually accurate to the real photograph. Nissan looks good. The wheels are okay. I mean, the lug nut details and stuff like that, so no major complaints there. It's got these little plastic mud guards. They seem to be separate pieces. Black paint around the windows, this little blobby mirror. These were separate pieces as well. I had to trim them off a sprue, and then I have some school glue just holding them into these little holes. I do feel like they might fall out very easily. The hole wasn't very deep at all. Alright, let's go around to the front here. Some decals or printing. Yeah, definitely tampo print. Those are not decals. Some are contaminants though. Or is this blue a decal? I don't know. Either it's paint rash or maybe it is a decal. I now see some wrinkliness here on this Nissan, but I don't see any clear wrinkliness. It's hard to say. Yeah, well. Separate pieces for these pop-up headlights, and then the headlights do seem to have silver, but I think that's behind a clear lens. I can't really tell. I don't know if there's a clear lens there. I think there is. It's so clear I can't even tell. It's really crazy. Yeah, look at that. So that's pretty good. I mean, if you can't even tell under this magnification, that's a pretty clear lens. Alright, so we got some auxiliary lights with some printing on them. Looks good. This license plate matches up with the real car, I imagine. It usually does on their other models. And then so some black printing here for some more rubber molding. These probably should be painted orange. Those are where some reflectors or turn signals reside. Alright. Let's see. Nothing here. One would think some black paint would have been helpful in there. This brush guard seems alright. It's not super thick plastic. It doesn't look too comical. And there's silver paint on those little lights I attached. The wiper blades, though, well, this is odd. These are just printed on TLV style. They're not actually molded into the windshield like most of the other ones I've seen from this brand. So some cost cutting there. But you know, there is extra parts. You got these two lights, and then you got this whole thing. So, and then those two parts. So I guess they had to cut costs somewhere. Going to the back here, more printing here. Some sort of bulges here. I wonder what those would be. Oh, on the rear photograph, those are actually hand grabs. Why there would be hand grabs on the back of this thing, I don't understand. Like, if you were holding on to this thing and the car took off, it would just rip your hands off out of your wrists. So they're not really, they don't look like they're meant for pushing. They literally look like you're supposed to hold on to it. So that's really strange. Really strange. Okay. Some really giant taillights that really don't look like anything like those photographs. So I don't know. Maybe in the real race it ran lights like this. But the photographs I pulled up are like from a museum, like it was a restored car or something like that. So it's possible that these could be accurate back in 1988, just not today. Alright, so again, nice to see a license plate, probably of the real car. And then you got a little blanked off exhaust tip there. The black molding, but this time it's got some silver paint on it as well. I think that's supposed to be a steel tube on the real car. Okay. Nothing on the bottom. CM's doesn't put any text there. You know, just molded details. The tires are pretty cool. I like the tires. And this one does roll. It's very light, you know. The plastic base is, and the casting, I guess, isn't very thick. It feels pretty light. Oh, look at the inside now. You can see some red harnesses, and I think those are actually molded into the seats and painted red. Let me get the flashlight here. I don't think those are decals. I think that's actually red paint. Oh, and up there. So maybe they're red tampo prints. Oh, and look at the spare wheel. That wheel doesn't match the ones on the outside, but it's still cool to see a spare wheel. Alright, what else? Maybe there's something else, I don't know. Door panels are just black. Molded details in the dash, no additional color, but it's pretty nice looking. Yeah, I like that spare wheel. Might be a separate tire on it as well. Alright, so that's pretty cool detail, but where's the roll cage? Oh, I guess it's just a black roll cage, so it's hard to see, but it's there. You can see it pressed up against the window there, the clear plastic on top. So this actually might be the best roll cage I've seen from this brand because it's so far up against the top. You can see how high it is compared to the seat rests. So that's how roll cages are supposed to be. So that's very good. Alright. Some distortion in the windows is expected from a molded window. Alright, well, this is a great one. It's another great experience for me to discover a new car that actually existed in real life through diecast. I mean, I knew about the Silvia 240 SX and the 200 SX as road versions, but I had no clue that Nissan actually rally raced these things, and in particular in the most grueling race of the season. Alright, well, let me get the spin thing out and we'll compare it to a couple other cars here. Hold on. Get my rally racing disc out. So that's the number 14 car back there, but I have to assume that's in Kenya for the Safari Rally. I mean, where else would that be? That's not England, I don't think. Okay. Well, let's see here. I got a couple other cars from Nissan's rally history from CM's. This is the 1984 240 RS. So it's a little bit older, right? 4 years in the past. It's quite low, and it's got those funky fender flares. So that's an interesting comparison. We're gonna go even more back in time to 1981 with the Nissan Violet GT, or I guess it was actually called the Datsun Violet GT back then. So the paint liveries seem to carry over, the red, white, and blue schemes. Let's go with the top view here. They tend to field the same size of vehicle, you know. they're all great models. I'm really happy I have all of them. I believe in 1988, the car that won the WRC was a Lancia Delta HF Integrale. I don't have that from that year, but CMs did make this 1991 version, so I'm going to just put it back here, just to give you an idea. And you'll notice that this is a much smaller car, being a hatchback instead of like a sedan or a coupe. So I think the more compact vehicles were starting to take over in this time frame of rally racing, because with the shorter wheelbase, they were just simply nimbler. They could take tighter turns and yeah, just corner better, I guess. That's what I'm suspecting. I might be totally wrong as usual. Alright, well, let's get this guy to spin on its own. So another great casting, another great offering by CM's Models. If you like rally cars, you really got to hop on eBay. I think this is that's the only place that you can buy these, because they're out of print. The company went out of business a long time ago. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get one of each casting, and hopefully there'll be some other videos to come. Alright, see you guys.